You folks think lifting weights is a walk in the park? Try hoisting an entire jail cell. That's exactly what Charles Rigoulot did. They dubbed him the strongest man in the world. And let me tell you, they weren't exaggerating. This guy was built like a tank. Seriously, have you seen the photos of this guy? Muscles on top of muscles? I bet you're curious how a strong man ends up in the slammer, right? Well, hold your horses, we'll get there. Just know it wasn't for parking tickets. Trust me, this tale is a doozy. Imagine this, France, the roaring 1920s. The streets are bustling with life, the air is filled with the sounds of jazz, and the city of Paris is a hub of culture and innovation. It's a time of great change and excitement where anything seems possible. Amidst this vibrant backdrop, a young boy named Charles Rigoulot is growing up, and little does anyone know, he is about to make history. Charles was no ordinary child. From a young age he displayed an incredible strength that set him apart from his peers. While other kids were playing with toys, Charles was lifting weights. He had a natural talent for weightlifting, and it wasn't long before he started to make a name for himself in the local sports scene. His dedication to training was evident, and he spent countless hours perfecting his technique and building his strength. As he grew older, Charles began to dominate weightlifting competitions. He won his first major competition at the age of 18, and from there, his career took off. He was unstoppable, winning competition after competition with ease. His incredible strength and determination earned him the respect and admiration of his peers and competitors alike. Charles was quickly becoming a force to be reckoned with in the world of weightlifting. In 1924, Charles achieved one of the greatest honors in sports. He became an Olympic champion. Competing in the Paris Olympics, he won the gold medal in weightlifting, cementing his status as one of the best in the world. But he didn't stop there. 4 years later, he competed in the Amsterdam Olympics and won another gold medal, making him a two-time Olympic champion. His achievements were nothing short of extraordinary, and he became a national hero in France. Charles didn't just win competitions, he shattered world records. His incredible feats of strength were unmatched, and he set numerous records that stood for years. He was constantly pushing the boundaries of what was possible, always striving to lift more and achieve greater heights. His dedication to his sport was unwavering, and his hard work paid off in the form of countless accolades and achievements. Charles was more than just a weightlifter. He was a true powerhouse. His strength was legendary, and he could lift weights that seemed impossible for a man of his size. He participated in strongman competitions where he showcased his incredible abilities by lifting heavy objects and performing feats of strength that left audiences in awe. His performances were nothing short of spectacular, and he quickly became a fan favorite. One of the most famous stories about Charles is that he could lift a small car. While this may be an exaggeration, it speaks to the incredible strength and power that he possessed. He was known for his dramatic weightlifting feats, and his performances were always a highlight of any competition. People came from far and wide to see him in action, and he never disappointed. Of course, not all of his feats were entirely serious. Charles had a great sense of humor, and he often participated in humorous weightlifting demonstrations that entertained the crowds. He loved to put on a show, and his playful personality endeared him to fans of all ages. Whether he was lifting a car or pretending to, Charles always knew how to keep the audience engaged and entertained. Despite his playful nature, Charles was incredibly serious about his training. He spent countless hours in the gym, honing his skills and building his strength. He was known as the undisputed king of the iron, and his dedication to his craft was unmatched. He pushed himself to the limit every day, always striving to be the best. His hard work and determination were an inspiration to everyone who knew him. And you know what they say, right? Big muscles, even bigger appetite. Charles had a voracious appetite, and he needed to eat a lot to fuel his intense training sessions. He was known for his love of food, and he could often be found enjoying a large meal after a hard day's work. His diet was an important part of his training regimen, and he made sure to eat plenty of nutritious foods to keep his body in peak condition. Charles was also known for his mischievous side. He had a playful personality and loved to have fun, sometimes getting into a bit of trouble along the way. There are stories of him getting into lighthearted mischief, always with a smile on his face. But despite his playful nature, he was always a gentleman and treated everyone with kindness and respect. His good-natured personality made him a beloved figure in the weightlifting community. Charles wasn't just a strongman, he was a hero to many. He inspired countless people with his incredible strength and determination, and he became a symbol of hope and perseverance. Fans adored him, and he was always happy to sign autographs and take pictures with his admirers. He was a true sports hero, and his legacy continues to inspire athletes to this day. Fans adored him, and he became a symbol of strength and determination. His popularity soared, and he was often mobbed by fans wherever he went. He always took the time to interact with his supporters, signing autographs and posing for photos. His humility and kindness endeared him to everyone he met, and he became a beloved figure in the world of sports. His dedication to training was unmatched, pushing the limits of what was possible. Charles was always looking for ways to improve and become stronger. He experimented with different training techniques and constantly challenged himself to lift more and achieve greater feats. His relentless pursuit of excellence set him apart from his peers and made him a true legend in the world of weightlifting. Charles Rigoulot, the legend, the icon, the unstoppable force of the 20th century. His incredible strength, dedication, and charisma made him a true icon in the world of sports. He left an indelible mark on the history of weightlifting, and his legacy continues to inspire athletes around the world. Charles Rigoulot will always be remembered as one of the greatest weightlifters of all time, a true testament to the power of hard work and determination. Jailbreak, the very word conjures up images of daring escapes, clever plans, and the thrill of freedom. But this isn't just any jailbreak story. This is the tale of Charles Rigoulot, a man whose strength was legendary and whose escape would go down in history as one of the most audacious ever attempted. Here comes the good part. Picture this: a crowd of people, buzzing with excitement, their faces lit up with anticipation. They had heard the rumors, the whispers of an incredible escape, and they were eager to see if it was true. So, Charles ends up in the slammer. It was the 1930s, a time when prisons were grim and foreboding places. The cells were small, the walls were thick, and the guards were always on high alert. But for Charles, this was just another challenge to overcome. Don't worry, it was nothing serious. Charles wasn't a hardened criminal. He was a weightlifter, a man known for his incredible strength and determination. He had ended up in jail for a minor offense, something that wouldn't have fazed most people. But Charles was not most people. Probably just lifted the wrong weight or something. Imagine him in his cell, surrounded by vintage weightlifting equipment, lifting weights with a comical expression on his face. Even in jail, he couldn't resist the urge to train and keep his muscles in top condition. Anyway, being locked up didn't sit well with our muscle man. Charles was used to freedom, to the open spaces of the gym and the thrill of competition. Being confined to a small cell was torture for him, and he knew he had to find a way out. He looks around his cell and laughs. These walls ain't nothing. To him, the thick bars and heavy doors were just another set of weights to lift, another challenge to overcome. He examined the prison bars, testing their strength, and he knew he could bend them with ease. He bends the bars, pops the door open, and strolls out. It was as simple as that. With his incredible strength, he bent the metal bars as if they were made of rubber, opened the door, and walked out of his cell with a confident stride. Okay, maybe it wasn't that easy, but you gotta admit it's funnier my way. In reality, it took a lot of planning and effort, but the image of Charles casually bending the bars and strolling out is just too good to pass up. Can you imagine the guards' faces? They were used to dealing with all sorts of prisoners, but a weightlifter breaking out of jail was something they had never encountered before. Their expressions of shock and disbelief must have been priceless. Sir, the really strong guy, yeah, he kinda left. Imagine the nervous guard trying to explain to his superior that the incredibly strong prisoner had just walked out of his cell. It was a situation that defied belief, and the guard's nervousness was palpable. I bet they needed new pants after that. The embarrassment and shock of the guards must have been overwhelming. They had been outsmarted and outmuscled by a single man, and it was a story that would be told and retold for years to come. The news spread like wildfire. Headlines screamed about the incredible jailbreak. Newspapers across the country picked up the story, and soon everyone knew about Charles Rigoulot and his daring escape. People couldn't believe it. A weightlifter breaking out of jail? It was the talk of the town. In cafes, on street corners, and in homes, people discussed the incredible story. It was a tale that captured the imagination and inspired countless retellings. Charles became a legend, not just for his strength but for his audacious escape. He was already well known in the world of weightlifting, but this escape elevated him to a new level of fame. He was a hero, a symbol of strength and determination, and that's how Charles Rigoulot, the great escape artist weightlifter, made history. His story is a testament to the power of the human spirit, the strength of determination, and the incredible feats that can be achieved when one refuses to be confined by the walls around them. Anything is possible.